Hey there, CineMaster fans! Hope you're ready for some movie magic. Let's dive right in. The movie Darkest Minds begins in a school cafeteria, where children are gathered to eat, talking and laughing. Suddenly one of the students starts shaking. Seeing this, the other students try to help, but the girl is already shaking uncontrollably. Shortly after, her pupils dilate and she crashes her cup before collapsing to the ground. Grace Summerfield dies. A narrator explains that Grace is the first student to die from her school, and within 1 month, half of the students in her class also die. The narrator mentions that she has survived, but doesn't know why. Shortly after, news reporters start covering the incident. They reveal that scientists have identified the mysterious and highly contagious disease, officially naming it IAA-AIN. The deaths of students cause immense pain to parents. Across the country, 90% of the children are now dead. Incidents involving surviving children start happening. The reporters call parents to report if they notice any bizarre behaviors in their children. The president, Gray, is interviewed by journalists, and he gives his interviews as a parent. His son, who was recently diagnosed with IAA-AIN, is now getting better. After a treatment in the center, he had gotten better, so he advises the other parents to give hope to their children. He reassures them that the CDC is with them and promises to find a cure to save their precious sons and daughters. Somewhere else, two parents, Molly and Paul, gift their daughter Ruby a keychain that has gudetama on it. She is happy about it and thanks her parents for the gift. Paul suggests that she will put a car key on it when she turns 16, but Ruby jokes about the remark, saying that it won't be cool when she turns 16. She then notices her mother's worried face and reassures her that she will be fine. Later that night, Ruby, unable to sleep, goes to her parents' room and lies next to her mother. She whispers, reassuring her that nothing could take her away from them. She then attempts to hold her mother's hand, but she has a strong vision and lets go of her. Shocked, the next morning Ruby wakes up feeling unwell and goes to the kitchen to notify her mother. She tells Molly that she is not feeling good, but Molly, confused, asks how she got there. Ruby is also confused by this question and calls her mommy, asking what is wrong, but at this point Molly tells her that she is not her mother and asks if she is lost. Before Ruby can process this, Molly takes her to the garage and locks her inside. Shortly after, people in hazmat suits open the garage door and enter. Before Ruby can react, they pick her up and take her to a school bus where other kids are already gathered. They transport them to be diagnosed, and when the bus stops, the soldiers tell them that they must follow the rules or they will be punished. Suddenly, one boy attempts to flee but is quickly apprehended. At that moment, one of the soldiers shoots herself, shocking everyone. Ruby is taken to be diagnosed. There are levels to this disorder, with the green ones being safe to approach and the orange ones being very dangerous, requiring termination. Orange is rare, so the doctor reassures Ruby that she has nothing to worry about and runs the test, only to discover that Ruby is orange. Without reacting to it, the doctor takes out a syringe to inject her, but Ruby realizes the danger and attempts to run away. The doctor catches up to her, but she holds his hands and uses her power to make him think that she is green, among the smartest and safest to approach. After this, Ruby is placed with other kids. 6 years later, the children are now grown-ups and are assigned tasks to do. Ruby is among them, and as she is working, a soldier approaches and gets uncomfortably close to her. Ruby grows nervous as he starts criticizing her work, telling her it is not right. He orders her to look at him, but they are not allowed to look directly at another person, so Ruby lowers her gaze. The soldier becomes aggressive, throwing items off the table. He then confronts Ruby, saying that she is not as smart as the green ones. Another girl speaks up to defend her, but the soldier drags the girl by the hair and throws her out of the room, ordering a frequency test. After they finish their tasks, Ruby and the others go outside, and the soldiers start the frequency test, emitting a white noise through the PA system. This affects everyone, but Ruby collapses to the ground. After a while, Ruby wakes up to see a doctor, Kate, examining her. She notices that she is cuffed to the bed. Kate reassures her that she will be okay, and tells her she will help her. As they are talking, the soldiers come and tell Kate she is supposed to leave now. Kate leaves the clipboard by Ruby's side, and leaves. Ruby picks up the clipboard and sees a note left for her by Kate. The note tells her that they know she is an orange and plan to kill her. If she wants to be saved, she must wait for Kate in the boiler room that night. Ruby follows the instructions and waits in the boiler room. Kate arrives and takes her from there. They manage to escape from the center and put Ruby in the car. As they drive to the gate, a soldier stops them and asks Kate who is in the back of her car. Kate tells him it is another doctor who is sick, so it is better to keep the window closed. But the soldier insists she lower the window because there has been a security breach. After some resistance, Kate is forced to comply, lowering the window as the soldier moves to the back of the car and asks Ruby to remove her mask. At this moment, Ruby turns and holds his hand. She uses her powers to make him believe that he is unwell and should let them go. The soldier then opens the gate for them and steps aside. After some time, when Ruby wakes up, she finds herself in town and smiles at the sight of the outside world. She asks Kate why the town is empty, and Kate gives her the grim news. The economy has collapsed, and people have been forced to move to other states. On top of that, there are no kids left. Kate tells Ruby that she is one of the rare children and would be killed if caught. She then gives Ruby a pendant with a tracking device, instructing her to press it if they ever get separated. They stop at a gas station where a man named Rob is waiting for them. Kate greets him and introduces Ruby. Rob tells Ruby they don't have much time and gives her a cloth to change into. As Ruby turns to walk away, she stumbles on something and Rob catches her by the hand to prevent her from falling. At that moment, Ruby sees a vision of Rob chasing and catching her, which makes her feel uneasy, and she quickly walks away. She goes inside the supermarket at the gas station to change, and as she is doing so, she sees a girl. The girl, Zoo, notices Ruby and touches the refrigerator. The moment she touches it, she sends a wave of electricity that blows the cables. Using this distraction, Zoo runs out of the supermarket. Ruby runs after her and sees Zoo getting into a van. Ruby begs to be let in, saying that she doesn't have anyone. Zoo finally opens the door for her, and Ruby climbs in. Zoo throws a blanket over Ruby to cover her as two boys, Liam and Chubbs, enter the van. Kate and Rob come running, looking for Ruby, but sensing danger, Liam drives off. Chubbs, confused, asks who Ruby is, and Ruby reveals herself. Liam stops the car, shocked. Ruby says she wants to get out of the car, but Liam refuses to let her go and starts the car again. At this point, a car comes speeding toward them. Inside is a woman, Lady Jane, who takes out her gun and shoots at them. She hits the windshield, but the van speeds past her. Lady Jane keeps following them, shooting at them, and ramming the van from behind with her car. Suddenly, Kate and Rob catch up and start hitting Lady Jane's car from behind. Meanwhile, Liam tells Ruby to take the wheel and moves to the back of the van to open the door. He uses his power to blow the leaves and crack the road, attempting to stop their pursuers. It works, and Lady Jane's car goes off the road and crashes into the forest. He then throws a tree in front of Kate and Rob's car, blocking their path. With no choice, Kate looks at the van as it speeds away. The four kids stop after they manage to escape. Chubbs confronts Ruby about her identity, asking why she is important to Kate and Rob. Ruby, refusing to answer, tells them she is going home and starts walking away, but Liam stops her using his power. He tells her it is dangerous to walk alone, because if the soldiers don't catch her, other bounty hunters like Lady Jane will. Liam tells her that there is a place they can go that is safe for people like them. It is run by a man whose name is Slip Kid, and he helps kids by providing shelter and food. It is also said that he is an orange. Hearing this, Ruby finally agrees to stay with them, and Zoo prepares a meal from the snacks she took from the supermarket. They all sit down to eat. They go back to the van and start driving. Ruby tells them that Kate risked her life to get her out and was going to take her to the League. She suggests they go to the League now because they will get help there. Liam tells her that he and his brother had been in the League before. Initially, they were taught how to control their powers, but then they started teaching them how to break an arm and other combat skills. Liam escaped because he didn't want to be a soldier. He then calls the League cruel. Ruby defends Kate, saying she didn't do anything cruel and only helped her escape. Liam retorts, asking why Kate would risk her life to save her if she wasn't benefiting from it. He then asks why Ruby ran away from Kate if she trusts her so much. He tells her that no one can help them and that they can only help themselves. Back at the center, the captain punishes the doctor for misdiagnosing Ruby 6 years ago. He puts an orange in the room with the doctor and locks the two inside. As the captain and another soldier walk away, they hear the doctor's screams from behind. Ruby is in a motel, looking at the keychain her parents gave her for her birthday. She starts having flashbacks of the good days. Her nostalgic moment is interrupted when Liam knocks on the door. He is there to give her socks because it is cold. She takes the socks and thanks him for everything he has done. Later that night, Zhu starts having a dream. In the dream, a lot of kids are gathered in front of a chain link fence. Liam uses his power to ram the fence, but soldiers on the other side start shooting at them, killing most of the kids. The remaining children start running, and Liam picks Zhu up and runs away. Zhu jumps up from her dream, and Liam comes to calm her down. But Ruby also wakes up at the same time, and it becomes clear they are both seeing the same dream. Zhu goes back and sleeps next to Ruby. When they wake up, Zhu gives Ruby a dress, but Ruby protests, saying that she is not a fan of dresses. However, Ruby decides to wear the red dress and goes out to see Liam, who is cleaning the van. When Liam sees Ruby approaching, he stops cleaning the van and stands up, looking at her. He stares in awe, and Ruby mockingly asks why he is staring. Liam shares that it has been a while since he has seen anyone in a dress, and tells her she looks good. Ruby mentions that the dress was given to her by Zhu, and Liam tells her that Zhu likes her. She then joins him in cleaning the van. They start scraping the letters off the van. As they are doing so, the door to one of the motel rooms opens and tracers walk out. Both Liam and Ruby stand up, and Ruby's eyes glow. The tracers quickly walk away. Liam asks what happened, but Ruby doesn't know either. After cleaning the van, they all get inside and resume their journey. In the van, they hear a speech from the president's son, who is cured of the disease, encouraging others to come forward because it is possible for them to be cured too. The group mocks the speech, remembering the posters that say, "If I am healed, you can be too." They reach an abandoned mall and decide to gather some supplies, stopping to go inside. As soon as they enter, they start taking what they think is necessary, from clothes to food and other essentials. Suddenly, Ruby sees a sign on the ground that says, "Get out." Then they hear people moving. Something lifts Liam up and throws him on top of Ruby. Then it lifts both of them up, and as it is about to throw them again, Liam uses his power to keep them floating, but they are still thrown to the side. A group of 4 kids then approaches to attack them. Zhu uses her power to electrify the area, causing destruction that saves Ruby and Liam. The attackers reveal themselves as other kids like them. Liam confronts them, but they explain that they thought Liam and the others were tracers. One of the kids offers that they can spend the night there, but insists they leave the next day. Later they all gather to talk, and the kids reveal that they know Slip Kid, the orange kid who provides shelter and food for others. When asked who he actually is, they refuse to say, claiming it is a secret. Ruby then touches one of the kids' hands and uses her power to make him reveal information. He says, "EDO," but before he can say more, he manages to free himself from her powers and stops. Later that night, Ruby reads a bedtime story to Zhu, and after Zhu falls asleep, she goes to Chubbs, who is on watch because he doesn't trust the other kids. He takes her aside to talk privately. She asks if he has figured out what EDO means, but he hasn't found anything yet. When Ruby sees news clippings in his notebook, he explains that he tries to communicate with his parents through news postings. Suddenly, Chubbs gets an idea. He explains that police use frequencies others can't hear. Kids can hear frequencies adults can't, which is why the white noise works on them, but not on adults. He suggests that EDO could refer to a frequency. Since frequencies are numbers, they convert EDO into a number and tune it on the radio. The number leads to a station broadcasting a message: "If you are one of us, come join us in Lake Virginia." Ruby and Chubbs are excited about the discovery, and the group decides to head to Lake Virginia, which is also Ruby's hometown. They drop her off at her house and say farewell. Ruby walks up to her house and sees her mother through the door. But before stepping inside, she has a vision of her parents not recognizing her, and her mother pushing her away. Overcome with emotion, Ruby decides not to go in. She runs back to the group and throws her keychain aside. As Ruby cries alone, standing in a field, Liam calls out from behind and gives her the keychain she dropped. He tells her that even though she can't reunite with her parents, she will always have them. He then hugs and comforts her. As they return to the others, they are ambushed by Lady Jane. She strikes Ruby and uses white noise on Liam. Liam tells her to leave the others and take him instead, but she refuses to negotiate. She then turns back to Ruby, who is lying on the ground, holding a gun. She approaches her, but Ruby grabs her arm and orders her to drop the gun. Lady Jane complies. Ruby then orders her to drop her car keys and walk into the forest, instructing her that no matter how tired or hungry she gets, she must not stop walking. Lady Jane gets up and starts walking into the forest. Ever. Ruby then collapses to the ground. When she wakes up sometime later, she finds herself lying in the van. She hears Liam and Chubbs arguing. Liam insists they should take her with them, while Chubbs argues it will cause problems if they do. Assuming they are talking about her, Ruby walks over and tells them she will leave so they don't have to argue. As she walks away, Chubbs calls out to her, explaining that they were talking about the car, not her. He also admits that he suspected she was an orange from the very beginning. Ruby sits with them, and they reassure her that there is nothing wrong with being an orange. She tells them it's something she cannot control, and it takes so little for her to affect others. She expresses her fear of causing harm, and her effort to avoid physical contact. After some discussion, they decide to continue their journey. To avoid attracting attention, they leave the car behind. Though Liam is sad to part with the car, they agree it's the safest option. They keep walking while talking, laughing, and enjoying the peace. Suddenly, as they are walking on the streets, lots of kids with guns surround them and order them to get on the ground. One of them recognizes Liam and then tells the others to lower their guns. The kid that recognizes Liam, Mike, greets them and tells them they have reached the settlement of Slipkid. They enter the settlement and see kids going about their day. They are all happy and free. They get inside one of the rooms and meet Slipkid, who turns out to be Clancy, the president's son. Clancy is happy to see them and recognizes all of them. He is the last remaining orange other than Ruby. After greeting them, he tells them the room they will be living in and tells them to rest because there is a lot to do there. Later that night, everyone gathers to have fun. Liam and Ruby sit alone, looking at the other kids dancing. Liam then asks Ruby to dance, but she refuses. He then gets up and uses his power to make her get up. They go to the other kids and they start dancing. As they are doing so, he tells her she is beautiful. Clancy sees them dancing and smiles before walking away. The next morning, Ruby goes to Clancy's office and calls out for him. She tells him that she is not assigned any task and is told to talk to him. He tells her that her task is to work with him and invites her to sit. After they sit, he starts telling her about what happens to him. He was sent to be treated at one of the centers, but they were not able to cure him. To not reveal they fail, his father announces that he has been cured. Clancy then gets away from the center and comes here. She asks why they are inviting kids to be healed if there is no cure, and Clancy tells her that they will do whatever they can until they manage to find one. He explains that they are afraid of them, so they want to keep them under control or kill them. He then tells her that he will teach her how to control her powers, so she won't hurt anyone unless she wants to. Ruby, determined to change, agrees to the training. After that, Clancy starts teaching her about the other kids' powers. He explains how their powers work and trains her on how to use her power at the right moment. One day, they sit together and Clancy tells her that she is still holding back and needs to let go. He then reassures her that she can't hurt him and holds her hands. At this point, Clancy starts looking into Ruby's past. That night, when she touched her mother, she unknowingly erased herself from their memory. That's why her mother didn't recognize her the next day. Clancy is shocked by this revelation and realizes that Ruby is more powerful than he is. He admits that he doesn't know what it is or how to reverse it, but reassures Ruby that they will figure it out together. As they are talking, Liam stands by the door, listening. Ruby tells Clancy that she has never met anyone like him who is exactly like her. Hearing this, Liam angrily walks away, jealous of their connection. Later, Ruby goes to where Liam is, but sees that he is angry. When he sees her walking in, he asks how the training is. She tells him it is intense. Liam changes the subject and tells her that the two of them, Clancy and her, are getting close. Ruby, confused, asks what he means by that. Liam angrily explains and asks why she is hiding things from him and refraining from getting close to him. Ruby explains that she is trying not to hurt him, but Liam is too angry to listen and storms out of the room. Ruby follows him outside, but doesn't find him anywhere. She then sees Chubbs sitting by the dock and sits next to him. She tells him that a lot of things have changed, and she wishes they were back in the van. Chubbs shares his opinion and tells her that he also hates this place. He says everything is too orderly. They eat, sleep, and work only when they are told, and that frustrates him. He then tells her he wishes he could go back to his parents. Ruby goes back to Clancy and asks him to let Chubbs use his computer to contact his parents. Clancy refuses initially, but Ruby convinces him. He then asks to go through her memories, so he can learn how to erase memories from people's heads. Ruby agrees, and they sit as Clancy gets into Ruby's memories. After a while, when Ruby comes back to herself, she finds Clancy on top of her. Shocked, she hits him before running away. She walks into the woods while crying and encounters Liam. She tries to run away from him, but he insists on knowing what happened to her. When he insists, she touches his face and he sees what happened. Angry, he decides to confront Clancy, but Ruby begs him to leave it alone and tells him they should leave immediately. They go back to the others, gather their belongings and head to the gate, but they are caught by soldiers. The captain reveals himself, and Liam throws him away. At this point, Clancy shows up and makes Liam dizzy. He then starts beating him, but Ruby uses her power to make the captain shoot himself, and Zoo electrifies the place. Using this distraction, the four of them run. Suddenly, other soldiers arrive and use their power to emit fire. Ruby tells the others to run because she is the only one who can fight Clancy. She comes face to face with Clancy and uses her power to control the soldiers, making them side with her. Clancy counters by making the soldiers shoot themselves. Ruby, exasperated by the power she uses, falls to her knees as Clancy approaches her. Ruby gathers all her remaining strength and causes a helicopter flying above to crash onto Clancy. At that moment, Chubbs arrives and pulls her away from the explosion. They go into the woods, but Chubbs is severely injured. He collapses to the ground, and with no other option, Ruby touches the pendant given to her by Kate, revealing their location to her. The next day, she sees that Chubbs is still unconscious, and Liam shows up. She tells him that she reached out to the League and insists he must leave because they wouldn't trust him. Liam refuses to leave, and they sit together. Shortly after, Kate arrives with many others. The next day, Ruby wakes up to find Kate looking at her. Kate tells Ruby that Chubbs is in the hospital. When Ruby asks about Liam, she finds out he is under arrest. Ruby insists that Liam should be released, but the League considers him a security risk because he knows too much about them. Rob interrupts, arguing that Liam must fight alongside them, but Ruby convinces him to drop the idea using her powers. Ruby asks Kate to take her to Liam. She hugs him and he starts telling her a light-hearted tale to ease the mood. He then tells her he loves her. Ruby, overwhelmed, touches him and removes herself from his memories. When he opens his eyes, he no longer remembers who Ruby is. He is given his belongings back and is allowed to leave, but Ruby's keychain is hanging on his bag. Ruby decides that she will fight for them, believing the only way to do so is by letting Liam go. As Ruby narrates her determination, Liam is shown running into the woods. Chubbs is shown in the hospital, and Zoo is shown getting into a truck with other kids. Finally, Clancy, who has survived the explosion, is seen with other soldiers. Ruby steps in front of a crowd and raises her hands with determination, and the movie ends. If you liked the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never miss an updates. See you in the next video.